Hi there and welcome to my channel. I'm Jeanette with Vivo Vintage Designs. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On this channel we learn alcohol ink and watercolor together. So if you ever have any questions, leave it in the comments. I will always get back to you, and check out the description box and the comment section for links to the products used. All right, now let's get started. Hi there friends, in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to paint the easiest tulips you'll ever paint using the wet and wet technique. I got this image either from Pixabay or Unsplash, and credit for this image goes to Ortal Barelman, I believe his name is, or her name, I'm not sure. But I just want to make sure that I give the artist credit. I am using 100% cotton watercolor paper. This paper is by Academy. It's in a block, and this is the first time I'm using this particular one. So I'm removing the blue sheet by using a palette knife. And now usually I would trace this onto my watercolor paper using my light box, but not everyone has a light box, so I thought I'd show you an easy way that you can trace this image onto your watercolor paper, and that's simply by using a pencil. However, I like to use this thing. This is lead, but it has no wood. So it's just a big chunk of lead. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but this makes life a lot easier. I'll be sure to link it in the description box under supplies. Now that I have scribbled on the back of the image, I'm going to tape it to my watercolor paper. Now, it would have been really smart of me to trim this paper, but it didn't occur to me at that moment. So it was a little big, but in any case, now I'm going to trace the image using a pencil. You can use a pen as well if you like. Once you finish tracing the image, make sure that you tape it, because as you see, I forgot to trace the stamens of these tulips. And if you move the paper, you're not going to be able to line it up. So having it taped down really does help. Now, I have the image on the paper, however, the image is fuzzy and my eyes are not that great. So for my purposes, I need to trace it again. And for this, I like to use a mechanical pencil because it's got a really small point to it. And the lead is very thin, so it's easy to trace. It gives you really fine lines. So now that I've traced it again, I'm going to use my kneadable eraser and I'm going to lighten up the lines. Now you may think, why is she doing that? The lines are finer, they're more crisp, and when I erase them, they won't show through the watercolor paper. And you can see I have a palette there. I'm using my Mei Liang watercolor paints. I have a double bowl rinse for my brushes, and I'm using a little bit of water in a spray bottle that I got at Dollar Tree, what a great find, to activate my paints. And before we start this painting, it's really important that you pre-mix your colors and add them to your palette. You can see I have shades of pink and red mixed with pink, and I have a couple of different shades of green. Of course, you don't have to use the same colors I used. You can use whatever colors you like. And looking back at this now, I wish that I had used a purple and a pink, but, well, hindsight is 20/20. So to paint these petals, what we're going to do is we're going to use the wet and wet technique. And this makes painting very, very easy. This is perfect for the beginner. So what I did was I wet down the area that I wanted to paint, and we're going to be painting one petal at a time. So I wet down that first petal, and you can see I'm using a small brush and I'm just dipping it into that light pink there, and I am adding that color around the edges. Just around the edges, not towards the center. And here and there I'll blend it in a little bit to bring it down. I'll add some little lines. And all I'm doing is using the tip of the brush to bring the color from the top of the petal towards the bottom. And now, because this section here is the part of the petal that connects to the flower, I'm using a darker shade to add a little contrast, a little shadow. And again, I wish I had used a purple or a plum color, but I didn't think of it until after the painting was finished. So now when you're doing this technique, you have to make sure not to paint next to an area that is still wet. Otherwise, that area will blend into the one that you're currently painting. So you'll notice that I skip around. And I'm going to continue this process for the entire painting. I wet down the area and now I'm using the pink and I'm just adding it around the edges of the petal. And where it meets the center of the flower, I'm depositing a little bit more concentrated color to indicate a little bit of shadow. And I'll add some on the tips here and there. Now it helps to have a brush with a really fine point when you're working this small. So you can see I'm skipping around and continuing to fill in the petals with water and then just adding in color around the edges. And this is a really fun way to paint. And once you get a little bit more comfortable and familiar with watercolor, your paints and your water control and the level of dampness of the paper when you're using the wet and wet technique, you can add more color, you can add more detail, but this is a really fun way to get started and create a painting that you can be proud of. While I paint this, I'll remind you that all the products used are linked in the description box and pinned in the comments section to make it easier for you to find. Also, please consider joining our Facebook group, Vivo Vintage Designs Tutorials, where you can post your versions of the paintings and techniques learned on this channel. We have a lovely group of members that are incredibly supportive and talented. So if you ever have any questions or issues, everyone is more than happy to help. Also, I started another YouTube channel. It's called Vivo's Favorites, where I post reviews of products, Amazon products and other products that I use on a regular basis. So I provide a quick little video and give you my honest opinion on the product. So if you're interested, please check it out. It's Vivo's Favorites. So now we're painting the stems. You can see I wet down the area first, and then I am depositing the lightest green that I have on my palette. And then I'm going to give it a little moment to dry, and then I'm going to pick up the darker shade of green, and I'm going to add that on the right side of the stem to indicate shadow. And then where the stem meets the flower, I'm going to add a little bit more of the darker color there because there would be a little cast shadow there, as well as where that stem meets the flower beneath it. And then I'll do the same for the other stem. And if you need to, don't be afraid to clean your brush and wipe it on your paper towel and use a clean damp brush to blend those colors in a little bit better if you need to. Here I'm doing the same thing, the darker shade on the top of the stem and at the bottom where it meets the other flower and along the right side of it. Okay, so now my stems are painted. I'm going to paint the stamen of these tulips. And for that, I'm using very diluted black and a really small brush. And I'm going to fill in those stamens with that diluted black. And then I'm going to use the tip of the brush and use a heavier consistency of the paint. You can see I picked it up straight from the palette. And I'm going to add that to one side using just the very, very tip of the brush to add a little bit of shadow. And you have to do this while the stamen are still wet. So you can see they're all finished, and now I'm going to start painting the leaves. So I've wet down the area and I'm using the lightest shade of green, and I'm going around the edges and depositing that color. Now where that leaf meets the flower, I'm going to deposit a little bit of the darker shade of green, because there would be a little bit of shadow. There's a flower in front of that leaf. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the darker green, and then I'm going to use the tip of the brush and kind of blend it in a little bit. I just added a few lines using a clean damp brush to pull the color from the bottom of that leaf towards the top. And now we're painting the second leaf. I'm going to add my water, and again I'm going to use the lighter shade of green to go around the edges, and wherever that leaf touches the stem or meets the stem, I'm going to make it a little bit darker by adding the darker shade of green as well. So you can see that this is really easy, and the effect is so pretty. And as I mentioned earlier, once you get comfortable with watercolor and water control, you can add much more detail. Now I'm just going around the stem with a little bit more color, because I want to create a little bit more separation between the stem and the leaf. And this paper is very textured, so I did find that I had to go over my edges to define them, sharpen them up a little bit more, because the paper is so textured. This is cold pressed paper, but it feels more like rough texture. I do like it though. So now I am painting the little flip in this leaf. So for that, I've wet down the entire area, and I'm using the darker color because there should be a little bit of shadow where that leaf bends over like that. And then I'm just going to blend it out a little bit. Well, we are nearing the end of this video. I hope that you have enjoyed it and that you give this technique a try. It's really fun and creates a really pretty painting that you can be proud of. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.